Hello there, students. Welcome back to this presentation. Today we're looking at United States History, Semester A, and we're looking at Unit 3, which is a Union in Crisis. And for this particular presentation, we're focusing on the unit activity, which is a Union in Crisis. Please make sure that you have your notebook ready, as it will be very helpful in order for you to complete this particular activity. Make sure that you read the introduction here, and also make sure that you read the evaluation method here, because this is how we are going to grade you based on this criteria here. Make sure that to aim for the highest all the time. And let's go to the activities now. This is task 1, and it's about the Emancipation Proclamation. Let's read what we need to do here. One of the most important events that occurred during the Civil War was the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation. For this task, you will read and analyze the Emancipation Proclamation, which is, you have to click on this link in order to get to it. Make sure that you do this in order to answer all of the questions. After reading this document, answer the following question. Part A. Consider the historical context of the Emancipation Proclamation. When did President Lincoln sign and use this document, and at what stage of the Civil War? Did the document have any real impact? This is really important. You actually have a couple of things that you have to consider once you're doing this activity. For example, when did President Lincoln sign it and use this document, and at what stage of the Civil War? So you can give us the date, you can give us obviously the year, and you need to explain where was the United States during the Civil War. Was it like at the initial stages, was it the middle stages, or was it towards the end of the Civil War? Did the document have any real impact during that particular time period? You may say yes, and if you say yes, why? If you say no, why? Make sure you provide a good paragraph here in order to let your teacher know that you are understanding the entire content. Part B. How does the document define the areas where slaves were to be freed? Once again, this question goes back to this document here that you should have read already, and this way you will be answering these questions. By the way, before you actually get to this document, I would strongly suggest that you read all of these questions first. You read all of the questions, and once you know what you're being asked, then you go to the Emancipation Proclamation document, and you should be able to answer these questions. Now let's move on to Part C. What specific language in the document indicates that the freeing of slaves is partly for military reasons? You have to look at what parts of the document make you think that the Emancipation Proclamation was not necessarily to free slaves, but it was actually it had a military component to it. Make sure that you provide a good paragraph here with evidence from the reading. Part D. What specific language in the document indicates that freeing of the slaves is a moral reason? Again, you have to go back to the document. There's that morality component of the document that said that all men, in a way had to be free. They didn't have to be slaves of anybody, and that you have to, again, provide a good paragraph here with evidence from the document. Part E. What surprised you about the text? Well, this is more of your opinion. What did you see in the text that you did not know before, or you find it to be like surprising, or you find it to be unbelievable, or something that you actually expected to be there and is not there? So provide a good paragraph here in order for your teacher to know that you are fully comprehending this assignment. Part F. If you could pick one sentence from the Emancipation Proclamation that best characterizes the document, what would it be? Explain your choice. Again, this is more of a personal choice. You're selecting a part of the Emancipation Proclamation, and you're actually telling us which one it is, and then you explain why. And this takes care of this particular part of the activity. Now, let's go to task 2 in this case, and this is events fueling the Civil War. And all you're doing here, let's read Part A. Take notes on the historical events listed in the table below. Use your prior knowledge, the lesson material, or additional research to describe each event. Be sure to explain how each event added to the tensions between North and South. Not all events have been mentioned in the tutorial, but information can be easily found about these major events at a library or the internet. So you have a whole bunch of events here, by the way, and you do have actually answers that you can actually look online. Just make sure that when you mention the Missouri Compromise, this is the event, you have to write down here the date of the Missouri Compromise, and you have to tell us the importance. And this has to be in your own words. You cannot just copy and paste here. If you copy and paste here, your teacher will return this activity, and we don't want to do that. We want you to, feel comfortable. We want you to do your best, and make sure that you do the same for all of these events that you find here. By the way, if you find other events that you want to add, just write them down underneath all of this table here. Let's go on to the next part. Part B. Since the end of the Civil War in 1865, different historians have held various opinions about what caused the Civil War. Slavery, states' rights, and regional economics are all disputed causes. What do you think caused the Civil War? Write a 2 to 4 paragraph essay opinion piece that explains your ideas. Use the events on your notes from the table above to support your opinion. You may also reference other events that took place during the Civil War to support your ideas. When developing an argument, keep the following factors in mind. Your opinion and argument should be well supported by your notes and any other research you have done. It should also focus on specific issues relating to the causes of the Civil War. If you need additional guidance, many writing resources are available to help you create a strong thesis. By the way, you can click on this, and this is a fantastic resource here. Using the author date system, make sure you provide parenthetical in-text citation for any information you use from the outside sources. When you finish writing, reread to check for the points above, and then proofread it to make sure your work doesn't contain errors in grammar or spelling. When you are done, submit your notes, if any, and final essay using a Dropbox. By the way, here are other links that you can use, but make sure that you provide a well-written essay about what you're being asked to do. We want here, because this should be one of your highlights for this particular unit in itself. I would highly encourage you to write a 5-paragraph essay here, but no less than 3 paragraphs. What you need to do is you need to provide an introduction, well-structured introduction, thesis statement. You need to provide a 3-body paragraph. In other words, 3 paragraphs answering these questions, and you need to provide a conclusion. And if you decide to go anything less than 5 paragraphs, please make sure that you are still supporting your arguments with evidence and using all of these resources here. It's really important because this is like the culminating activity of the entire unit. So we want to make sure that you know exactly what you're talking about. Use your notes. This is why I've been emphasizing that you need to be taking notes during or while you review the tutorials. Make sure that you put your best effort for this essay, and that make sure that you are, if you're using outside resources such as internet resources that you find on your own, make sure that you do not copy and paste, because if you do that, your work will be returned and you have to redo everything again. So make sure that you're staying true to what you're being asked to do. And please continue to work hard.